Welcome back to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit, where we break down the automotive world with clarity, horsepower, and just the right dose of pundit-style grit. Today, we're diving under the hood of General Motors at a moment when the company's polished image is cracking under enormous pressure. Tariffs are reshaping the cost of every bolt and circuit. Chip shortages have resurfaced like a warning light you hoped had gone away, and internal decisions from GM's top floors are sparking serious debate. So buckle up, because the revelations shaking Detroit's most iconic automaker demand attention. Here are the developments. The hidden cost crisis. How destination fees became GM's quiet profit engine. Destination fees were once a routine, overlooked charge meant to cover transporting a vehicle from the factory to the dealership. But in 2025, GM turned this small line item into a major profit lever. Popular models like the Silverado, Sierra, and GM's full-size SUVs suddenly carried destination fees as high as $2,595, far above previous years and well beyond actual transportation costs. The inconsistencies were hard to ignore. Trucks built just minutes from local dealerships somehow cost the same to ship as imported vehicles crossing oceans. Oil prices were steady, driver wages didn't spike, and rail costs remained stable. Yet GM dramatically raised these fees right as tariffs made imported components more expensive. Analysts now confirm these inflated fees quietly absorbed tariff-related costs while keeping MSRPs artificially stable. Multiply a few hundred extra dollars by 2.7 million vehicle sales, and GM generates over $1 billion in additional revenue. The optics look clean, but customers end up paying more, and this shift revealed deeper financial pressures building inside GM. But these hidden fees were only the beginning. The true storm hitting GM was far bigger. A perfect storm. Tariffs, supply chains, and new pressures crushing GM. By 2025, the auto industry was already strained by years of inflation and unpredictable pricing swings, but renewed trade tensions pushed GM into far deeper trouble. New U.S. tariffs on Chinese steel, aluminum, electronics, and auto components added up to $5 billion in unexpected costs. Raising MSRPs risked losing customers already coping with record-high vehicle prices, so GM relied on hidden increases, destination fees, processing charges, and quiet trim adjustments to raise real transaction prices without touching the sticker. Then the chip shortage resurfaced. China halted exports from Nexperia, a major supplier of older automotive semiconductors essential for basic vehicle functions, leaving GM warning that factories were weeks away from shutting down. Compounding the crisis, GM ordered suppliers to eliminate China-based sourcing by 2027, a geopolitical necessity, but an extremely costly logistical overhaul. With tariffs rising, chips shrinking, and suppliers scrambling to reconfigure operations, it became clear that destination fee spikes were only the first visible warning sign of a much larger financial storm engulfing GM. Before we shift to the next major shock, do us a huge favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to Piston Pundit so you never miss updates like this. Now let's shift gears and steer into what happened next. The 40% shock, Barra's massive stock sale, and the insider exodus. If rising fees worried consumers, what happened next sparked even deeper concern. In late September 2025, GM CEO Barra sold over $46 million in stock, about 777,000 shares, after already unloading roughly 40% of her personal holdings weeks earlier. For someone who spent decades rising through GM's ranks, such a major sell-off didn't look routine. She wasn't alone. Several GM executives also sold large blocks of stock during the same period, and for months, no insider purchases appeared in filings. While insider selling isn't inherently bad, the timing raised serious questions. Executives cashed out at the stock's peak, just as GM faced mounting tariff pressure, chip shortages, recalls, and shifting EV production schedules. Legally, everything was disclosed. Optically, it was a disaster. Customers were paying more, dealers struggled with aging inventory, and workers feared production cuts. Yet leadership appeared to be reducing its exposure. The contrast fueled doubts across factories, dealerships, and investor forums, suggesting GM's top brass may be bracing for turbulence the public hasn't fully seen yet. And those impacts were already rippling down to the people who felt them most: dealers and workers. Dealers and workers in crisis, inventory pileups, price shock, and job risks. While executive decisions draw headlines, the harshest impact is hitting GM's dealers and factory workers. Across the country, lots are filling with Silverados, Sierras, Tahoes, and Yukons at levels unseen in years. Trucks that once sold quickly are now sitting 60 to 90 days, driving up floor plan financing costs and cutting deeply into dealer margins. Customers entering showrooms face inflated monthly payments due to hidden fees and high interest rates. Even an added $1,000 can mean $20 to $25 more per month, often killing deals. Dealers, squeezed between GM's pricing and buyer hesitation, are sacrificing profits just to move inventory, even though GM collects destination fees the moment vehicles arrive. Workers feel the pressure too. EV plant shutdowns, chip shortages, and slowing sales are fueling fears of layoffs. Many employees hold GM stock and view recent insider selling as a warning sign. Inside the factories, workers know shipping costs haven't risen enough to justify GM's fee hikes. The ripple effects are reaching far beyond GM's boardrooms, and as frustrations grew inside GM, the outside world began to apply pressure of its own. The political and consumer backlash, GM's mounting reputation crisis. As GM's pricing tactics became more visible, political pressure intensified. Rising vehicle costs entered election debates, and lawmakers from both parties questioned why destination fees soared just as tariffs pushed manufacturing expenses higher. President Trump's claim that Barra thanked him for heavy-duty truck tariffs further amplified scrutiny, sparking speculation about GM's political motivations. Accurate or not, the comment placed GM squarely in the national spotlight. Consumers also pushed back. Online communities began analyzing window stickers, comparing fees across brands, and calling out pricing manipulation. Viral TikTok and YouTube videos breaking down destination charges turned a once-ignored fee into a mainstream controversy. Rivals like Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, and Kia quietly benefited, offering lower fees and cleaner reputations, drawing frustrated GM buyers away. The auto industry runs on trust, fair pricing, long-term relationships, and transparency. Once that trust cracks, recovery becomes difficult. GM now faces political scrutiny and consumer skepticism at levels unseen in decades. Its next moves will determine whether it regains credibility or suffers lasting reputational damage. Which leads us to GM's most important fork in the road. Verdict. GM at a turning point. Choose transparency or brace for turbulence. After examining GM's rising fees, tariff-driven cost pressures, supply chain disruptions, insider stock moves, and the growing frustration among workers, dealers, and customers, one conclusion becomes undeniable. GM has arrived at a critical crossroads. The company can continue relying on short-term tactics that hide true costs, or it can rebuild confidence through transparency, accountability, and long-term stability. The path GM chooses next will determine whether it reinforces its legacy as an American automotive icon or becomes a cautionary tale about what happens when trust breaks down. As we wrap up, we want to hear from you. Do you think GM's fee strategy crossed the line, or was it a necessary response to tariffs? What steps should GM take to rebuild trust with buyers, workers, and dealers? Has this changed your outlook on GM's future? Would you still consider buying one of their vehicles? Share your thoughts, experiences, and opinions in the comments. Your insights fuel this community. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe to Piston Pundit so you never miss our next breakdown, update, or industry reveal. More vehicle insights are on the way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.